Thinking about moving to Marin, but you want to know more about it? In this video, I'm going to tell you the 5 things you need to know about living in Marin. I've lived here for 25 years, and I wish I had known this before. So let's get started. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This channel is all about living in Marin, eating, drinking, playing. If you want to know more, hit the subscribe button and also the bell, and you'll get notifications about any time I have a new video. Stay tuned for the end of this video where I'll show you how to get some free links on information that's discussed here. Now, without further ado, let's get started. So the first fact you want to know about Marin County is that it's just over the bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, that is. It's actually surrounded by 3 sides of water, so there's a lot of water in Marin County. A lot of oceanside miles and miles on the bayside. Marin County has a population of just over 250,000 people, but it's spread out over 828 square miles. Compare that to San Francisco, just over the bridge, where they have 900,000 people and just 47 square miles. So you can see Marin County has a lot of open space, and that's one of the things that really attracts people here, particularly when they leave cities to come here. So besides the water that surrounds Tiburon, there's lots of forest areas as well, and rolling hills and farms and a lot of open areas. But there's still all these little cities in it, so you can feel very connected to people. It's not like you're living on a farm, unless of course you want to do that. Fact number 2. You'll want to know about all the modes of transportation. Before I talk about the transportation, I just want to mention how close we are to San Francisco. I just said a minute ago that it's 5 minutes over the Golden Gate Bridge. So obviously, if you're in Sausalito, which is closest to the Golden Gate Bridge, you're in San Francisco in maybe 10 minutes or less. Unless you're on the far side of Sausalito, then it might be 15 minutes. And then all the way from Novato, in Marin County, it's going to be a little longer, maybe up to 40 minutes, depending on traffic. There's also a train. The train goes all the way from like Petaluma, which is above Marin County. Actually, it starts in Santa Rosa, a lot further away. Anyway, then it runs all the way down to Larkspur, and people can walk across this street and get on the ferry there. So that's pretty convenient. It's not a high-speed train, so it's just a way of avoiding traffic, which isn't horrible in Marin, not at all compared to other big cities that I've lived in, Sacramento, San Francisco, Los Angeles. It's nothing like that, but there's still some times that you're gonna want to potentially avoid the freeway. Another thing about that is that if you are with one other person in a car on the freeway, it's only 2 people for the carpool lane here to be able to use the carpool lane. Over on the other side of the East Bay, it's 3 people, and it's a lot harder to have 3 people in your car, obviously. One last note on commuting. There are also ferries that go into San Francisco. There is one that leaves from Larkspur, there's another from Tiburon, and also Sausalito. The one from Larkspur has a fast speed ferry and can get you there in something like 30 minutes, maybe a little under, to downtown San Francisco where the ferry building is, and it's easy to walk to any of the downtown areas from there. The ferries also go to Pier 39, more of a tourist area. And there's also like a very small ferry that goes from Tiburon over to Angel Island, which is a fun place to spend a day. Anyway, so that's a lot about transportation here in Marin County and commuting. Fact number 3. Weather is pretty mild in Marin County. On average, nighttime can be as cold as about 43 and as high as about 53. Also on average, the high of a day can be around 57 up to about 78. But that average is really deceiving for Marin County because in actuality, the weather here is extremely diverse. And that is, it can be 20, 30 degrees higher in Novato on a high end than it is in Tiburon, where I'm sitting right now. So you can really choose your weather. What kind of weather do you want? It's always warmer the more north you get, and cooler the closer you get to San Francisco. Another thing that's different is rain. It rains twice as much in Kentfield as it does in Tiburon. So you can kind of pick your weather there as well. And then the last thing you hear about is fog. The fog is primarily in Mill Valley. It comes up and over the mountain at night. It's very cool to look at from Tiburon. You can see the fog going over. But you really don't see fog in pretty much anywhere else in Marin County, maybe along the coast. But I don't live there, but along the coast probably. But in general, all the little towns that people live in here, we don't really talk about fog other than the Mill Valley fog. So anyway, the whole point is, weather in Marin County is really diverse, and you can probably find a pocket that will suit you perfectly. Fact number 4, Marin County is like clean, clean, clean. I'm not talking about the sidewalks. I'm talking about clean air, clean food, and clean water. Okay, the water part, I'm gonna talk about that first. I've lived here for, like I said, 25 years, and I've lived in California all of my life. And I've always had pretty good tasting water. But I also lived in LA for a while, and my understanding from people that live there now is the water doesn't taste good. And there's a lot of other places where you have to, even worse than it not tasting good, you have to have bottled water. So none of that is here in Marin. We have really clean water, and it also tastes good. So that's always good. Another thing we have is fresh food. Now that happens because we have all kinds of farmland in Marin County. So we have a lot of organic products, and we also have, there's places that make like cheese, pretty good, olive oils, different things like that, even wine. So we have a lot of fresh food here. And obviously, because we're right next to the ocean, there's a lot of fishing that goes on. So there's a lot of fresh fish in Marin County as well. Last is the fresh air. Okay, we're right by the ocean. So clearly when the breeze comes in, any bad area that there is not here, it's moving on more into California. In any event, also I've been told that when the fog comes over, like in Mill Valley, it cleans out any pollution. Anyway, of all the time that I've lived here, I've never noticed pollution at all, not at all. Okay, that's not exactly true. The air is super clean here, but a couple of times in the last 25 years, it's been tough for a couple of days, and those both had to do with the fires in Northern California that you more than likely heard about. But other than those fires, you'll likely never be talking about air quality here because it's always really good. Fact number 5. So although Marin County has 250,000 people, there are also 27 little towns and cities in Marin. And what you end up with is a number of those places have their own town center, their own police department, library, and other things that would have a community gather in those places. So what you end up with in Marin County is potentially a really small town vibe. Lots of people choose to buy housing that is really close to these city centers, and then they walk to all these things. And I think people really enjoy that, particularly because we have such great weather, and it's pretty much year round. Sure, it rains here and things, but you can get an umbrella, but it doesn't rain a lot. And there are so many beautiful sunny days all year round. Anyway, of those 27 town cities that are in Marin, they can be really different at the same time. Comment below if you would like a link to a description of those 27 different towns. You can open up that link and read something about all of them, and maybe something will resonate with you about what place you might be more interested in. And if you're thinking about moving to Marin in 9 days or 9 months, consider giving me a call or a text or an email. If you'd like any help, I love helping people move to Marin in a smooth, smart way. My contact information is below in the show more information.